Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm very happy to be here. I'm actually a teacher, and I have been teaching for the past 26 years. I'm also the director of STEAM Research Academy at Freedom Middle School. In essence, education must be reimagined. It has to be reimagined now to meet the challenges of a 21st century. It must include transdisciplinary STEAM curriculum, particularly for at-risk students. And in so doing, we have an excellent chance of increasing academic achievement, technological equity, and economic parity. Basically, the mission is simple: to expose as many kids as possible to authentic research and STEAM-based curriculum. The vision is to see a world where all children are technologically prepared to solve 21st century societal ills responsibly, ethically, and collaboratively, while actively emphasizing seeds of unity within the realms of diversity. Research shows that STEAM at the middle school level actually increases academic performance by 70% in terms of peers or students who do not receive STEAM instruction. Thomas and Larson did a study over 1 year, and they found that the grade that benefited most was 8th grade. However, the fact is that if students are exposed to STEAM education in the middle school years, it will definitely increase STEAM career choice in later years. This is the program that I'm the director of. It's actually co-sponsored first by Reveals in 2017, and eventually Reveals now, I guess, transformed into Clever. So along with Clever and NASA, these are the co-founders. And what makes this camp really special is that the research class deals with questions that NASA is currently working on. In past years, we dealt with how to get water from regolith. This year, we'll talk about the research questions that the kids worked on that deal with volatiles. One of the other classes is a digital animation class. This class takes the prototype that was worked on or that was actually envisioned in their research class, and the kids are actually taught how to animate it. Then they have a robotics course. This class, the kids build a robot with Legos and then have to program the robot going through a pretend course as if they're attempting to pick up different volatiles. And of course, the last class is the ethics class. Ethics must found all research. And believe it or not, children must be taught ethical behavior. It does not just happen. These are our research questions. What volatiles might be present on the moon? Why might volatiles be important for human exploration? Where might volatiles be found, and how can they be collected? In terms of demographics for the program, most kids were 7th graders, and then we had the second demographic being 6th and 8th graders, and just 1 5th grader. In terms of the genders, 44% were females, 56% males, and of course the goal is to get that even more equitable in the future. The site that the camp was happened on was Freedom Middle School, which is actually my school, but it was actually open to all Metro Atlanta schools, and that statistic at the bottom is really important. Most of these kids, 55%, were receiving a STEAM or STEM program for the first time. Here are our pre and post scores. Each class gave a pre-test of what would be taught, and a post-test. As you can see, the research project had the most gains, and that is a critical area in middle school at any rate, because of the fact that kids don't get exposed to that type of detailed research until high school. And then you can see where the robot design and program had the least amount of gains. That is simply because we made the mistake of having those robots in front of the students when they took those tests. They weren't trying to finish that test. They were trying to hurry up and complete everything so they could get to their robots. So we know next time we have to move them to the robot side of the room. Now, this is particularly important. I also conducted an attitudinal survey, and we did the pre-test when students first arrived, and then we did the post-test at the end of camp. And the camp was only a two-week endeavor, just again because of funding, but it is a very intense 2 weeks. So first we asked, how important are classes that teach STEAM concepts during the regular school day? On the pre-test, it was 70%. By post-test, it was 83%. STEAM classes helped me become a better student in non-STEAM classes as well. Before the camp, 55% agreed. After the camp, 75% agreed. STEAM classes helped prepare me for a successful future. Before camp, 60%. After, 69%. I would like to participate in other STEAM programs in the future. Before, 35% said yes or agreed. After, 53% agreed. Now, here are some of the sample works. You're not going to get a chance to see it because we have other things at the end of this presentation. But that was one of the products that students had to do. They had to create an ethics video. They were allowed to use the skills learned in their animation class, or they were allowed to do it live. That first one is a video that's live, and the second one is an example of an ethics video that was digitally animated. Here, the prototypes. This is the prototypes from their 3D animation classes. You know, again, in the discussion or later, if you want, I can show you these prototypes. Amazingly, they're quite similar to the ones that I've seen today, and I was very happy about that. Some of the research covers, each team had to actually participate at the end of camp in a competition that demonstrated all of the products that they had produced, and they had to be the best of the best to win the Champions Award. And then they could also win an award for being first in any of the 4 categories. Here you see at the end of the camp some of their products, and you see the competition. This one, again, are some STEAM highlights that I'll be happy to show you at a later date, but I have to go on because we want to get to this particular data point. Research shows that middle school students, if we can hit middle school students, that demographic is going to produce the most people who would like to do STEM fields or STEM careers later in life. Not just Thomas and Larwin, who did the first study, but numerous other researchers agree that is a critical area. Now, personally, I would like to start STEM, not STEM, but STEAM activities. And I'll tell you later why it's important that it's STEAM and not just STEM, but that really should be started at the preschool level. And I have seen preschool camps that have themes of STEM. That is so important. However, right now, research is showing that if we can get students interested and keep them and maintain them over at least the middle school levels, then we are going to increase the likelihood that those students will choose a STEM career. Now, this question also bears that out. Do you plan to work in a STEM field when you grow up? Before camp, 35% said yes. Post-camp, 41% yes. Further, to bear out this statistic, I have 3 students that will talk to you. 2 are here. 1 is en route from the airport as we speak. He may or may not get here in time. We had a disaster with flights as well on Delta, but at least he will be here and you'll be able to see him. The first one is Beckham. If someone can hit that first link, Beckham had to work. He was not able to come. Yes.
Hello, my name is Beckham, and I'll be describing my experience with the Freebots robotics team. The robotics team I attended in middle school had an important impact on my life. It made me interested in programming and provided me with a way to make an excellent friend group. The multiple events that occurred while I was in it, such as trips to the water treatment facilities, sanctuaries, and competitions, connected me to the real-world issues that people were facing and taught me the multitudes of solutions people came up with to solve them. It also gave me the opportunity to create ideas and use critical thinking to solve problems and provide my own solutions to those problems. Academically, the robotics team also helped me with maintaining good grades and improved my researching skills. Working as a team also helped me develop my soft skills more. So overall, I would say that the robotics team was a positive experience in my life since it opened me to opportunities that I had never had before. And after completing the program, I went on to learn programming languages such as Python and Java in high school, which was brought upon by the hands-on experience I got from programming Lego robots. Currently, I'm attending Georgia Tech as a computer science undergrad, and within that field, I'm studying computer systems architecture and information management. And that is all. Thank you for listening.
And now we'll have Gracie.
My name is Gracie Wah. I was one of Ms. Kabwatha's students in middle school, and I graduated this last year. But I was actually the first group that got the chance to present to Dr. Orlando because we had a project in First Robotics League, which the theme that year was Into Orbit. So she got in contact with him through some reason. I don't know how he saw her email, but through that, I felt like I got an amazing opportunity to meet different scientists from all different universities, because before then, the only school that I knew existed was Georgia Tech, so sorry to all the other universities. That kind of experience actually led me to apply to different programs when I was in high school, so I felt like it really encouraged me to actually go out and explore different possibilities. One summer I was an intern at a clinic because I was interested in the medical field at that point, and the next summer I was doing biochemistry research in Indiana University, and I feel like reaching out into and branching out into different topics really helped me with my college application process. And so because of that, I'll be going to Caltech this fall. So yeah. And possibly majoring in GPS or bioengineering. So astrobiology, let's go.